Entrevistas Alfa.
Yo soy Patti Velasco de Alfa 91.3, donde todo nace, y estoy hoy con Ryan Anderson de Dexter and the Moonrocks. Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very happy to have you here and to have this conversation because we love Dexter and the Moonrocks. We love freaking out. And I'm
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
happy to be here with you. Thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is very cool.
Where are you now, Ryan?
I am thankfully at my home, which has
Oh,
been hard to come by in the last few months, but it's good to be home for a couple days.
yeah, some rest, some vacation.
Uh, I wouldn't call it either, but it's good to be in my house for 2 days.
Absolutely. Nothing feels like home, right?
Correct. Correct.
So, Ryan, let's talk about your music, this Western space grunge that combines country and rock and grunge. Was that always the plan, or did it happen naturally? What would you say?
Uh, Thankfully, it happened naturally.
Hmm.
The way we always put it is we grew up listening to, our parents all thankfully had good music tastes, and they all put us on the grunge band of the 90s. And uh, but when we started the band, we were listening to more Texas country, red dirt kind of music, and that's the kind of music we thought we were going to be making. But once we started creating our own, those influences from our childhood kind of just clawed their way out, I guess, into the music. And we didn't come up with the term either. A good friend of ours who was also trying to do the music thing, uh, or actually he did it, and he was the one who showed us we could do it too. He just came up with that Western space grunge on the spot because we
Hmm.
didn't know what to call ourselves, and he just said it like it was like that's what we always were. So kind of
And
gave us
it's
an identity.
absolutely, it sounds super
Yeah,
cool.
it does. It
So
looks
you
good
were
on a shirt.
Absolutely. So you were like mixing the music you heard when you were a kid and the music you like to hear nowadays. It's like a combination of
Y-
everything,
Yeah.
of every kind of music you like to hear.
Yes, and but again, it wasn't like I think had we sat down and tried to do that, it might have been an absolute monstrosity against all music. Thankfully, it's just what happened, and we didn't really know that was going on until even today. Sometimes we'll listen back to old demos from like 7 years ago that no one will ever hear, but and you can tell like that's where everything was starting to happen at first with the sound.
Hmm. Hmm. And let's talk about Freaking Out. We play Freaking Out every day, and
Thank you,
everyone
thank you.
everyone loves it. It's a great, great song, and it has a lot of energy, but it also feels very honest. I want to know what was happening in your life when you wrote that song.
I wish there was like a very fancy, story about it. We were at rehearsal.
Hmm.
We were coming off like 6 weeks of off time back when that was realistic, and we had a big like our first show back was a pretty big one in Austin, and so we rented a rehearsal space the day before and practiced or whatever, and then we got done early, so like let's just try to write, and we wrote that song in like 30 minutes. It's
Wow,
just like I just
you were
the
inspired.
yes, the acoustic guitar part in the intro, I'd had that just for a year or two. I always noodled around on, and thankfully we just wrote to it that day, and that was it. But uh, I guess at the moment, though, things were nowhere near where they are now. But it was a big jump. We were about to play one of the biggest shows we'd ever played at the time for our regular show, anyway. So like our not a festival, just a Dexter show,
Hmm.
and things seemed like they were starting to change. So maybe that's where some of that came from. I don't know though. I mean, again, it was a pretty easy song to write. I mean, we were all just the machine was rolling, thankfully. So
But that must be fantastic when you have like a riff, for example, or any sound in your mind, and then you can have the lyrics and have the complete song from
yeah,
something that started in your mind. Wow.
it does not happen that easily very often. I wish it did, but
Yes.
we have to fight for some of them every now and then. And sometimes you don't feel good about it when for us anyways, it's like if we work too hard on a song, we worry we overcooked it or whatever, and it's gonna be a bit cheesy. But sometimes you just got to let the listeners decide if it's a good song or not.
and they've decided they love it. And if
We're very
someone
thankful.
is, yeah, and if someone is freaking out, I don't know, about work or relationships or just life in general, what do you hope they feel after listening freaking out?
That it's okay to be freaking out.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
that's again, we didn't write that song with a like intentional message. It's just
Mhm.
the song that came out of us. But that's what I take away from it is that like no matter where you're at or who you are, it's okay to admit that like you're not okay. And the worst thing you could do is to pretend that you are okay when you're not, and to just let it out and kind of lose your mind every now and then.
Yeah, from time to time, we all freak out.
Yes.
What was the last time that you freaked out for anything? I mean, real problem, or it can be something funny.
I would say probably when freaking out happened, when the whole moment happened, and you know we'd been on the road for the first 3 months of the year pretty relentlessly, and May was supposed to be the whole month off. You know, vacation plans. My anniversary is the first weekend of June, and all of that off time just vanishes immediately when that moment happens. You know, and overnight May became the busiest month I think we'll have this year. We didn't have any shows, but it was studio time, writing sessions, flying to Nashville
Recording.
for, yes, all of that overnight. And then, I mean, having to go somewhere on my anniversary, which that was made right by the parties involved. But I kind of got a little freaked out when that happened. You know, it's like, am I ever going to be home again? You know,
Yes.
so I would say then
Okay, okay. That was your time of freaking out.
when the freaking out thing happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you, Ryan, if someone has the chance to listen just to one song of Dexter and the Moonrocks, which song would you say it would be the best to start with and why? Just one.
Mm,
Tough
it's a good,
question.
really good question. I'm not going to say freaking out just because that's the big song right now. I
Hmm.
think the most Dexter sounding song outside of that would either be, to me, Ritalin, or my favorite song is a song called Cry on our Happy to Be Here EP. That one's very Dexter in terms, I mean, it checks all the boxes. It has a riff, catchy melody, very happy sounding song, but very miserable lyrics. I would say that,
Excellent combination.
yes, that or but I think Ritalin's the more Dexter sounding song. I think if you could only hear one to understand who we are, I would say Ritalin.
Okay. Okay, that would be the one.
Hmm.
You were talking about touring and it can be exhausting, and I can imagine it can be very fun. I would like to know what is one thing about touring that fans would never expect.
Mm. It's different for, I'll speak for myself personally. I'm
Yes.
from the absolute middle of nowhere. I mean, we grew up in a town with one stoplight and it was just a
Okay.
four-way. It wasn't even a proper red light, and like two restaurants that served basically the same thing growing up. So,
Everyone knows each other.
yes, and their dogs. But, so, I mean, growing up nowhere near a city, I can't speak to most fans about what they might not expect, because just seeing different cities every single day was pretty overwhelming for me. But something they would never expect, you just can't pack enough socks. There's nothing you can do. That's what I would say. You could pack 85 packs of socks and you'll lose 40 of them day three. So that would be my answer. You just can't pack enough laundry no matter what you do.
Okay, no matter what. I love that story. I've never imagined that on a tour.
Oh yeah, and I mean
And
we'll all be giving each other socks and shirts by day four.
okay, they get lost on the way.
Yes, I don't know
Oh,
where they go.
okay, okay. And what the craziest thing you've lead in a show? Because I know you've got stitches. Some of you got stitches from people throwing things on the stage.
No, friends of ours have. We have had things thrown at us, not out of like a boo moment, but I mean, I wish I understood why. But I mean, back when we still did the whole Cheez It thing,
Hmm.
Someone like people started bringing their own Cheez-Its, and someone threw a full box at our singer's head from the like balcony of a show, like a big
Oof.
box. So he didn't get stitches, thankfully, but
Okay,
or
okay.
it didn't bust his head open or anything. It was just a box of crackers, but I'm sure it still hurt from 65 feet. But the craziest thing you said, like the craziest thing leaving a show,
Uh-huh.
our first proper tour, we were in Indiana, and we were we had just come on stage for the encore, and lightning struck like right by the venue, so they immediately killed all the sound and told everyone to leave. So the crowd starts booing and losing their minds, and our singer gets on the mic and says, "We're going to play the song on top of our van." We had not
Wow.
discussed this; he just did it. So I think it was like 500 or 600 people there, all run into our van at the same time, and we climb on top of the van and play this song with the whole crowd from the concert surrounding our van. And I mean, I'd just quit my job like 2 weeks before this, worried if this was going to work out or not. And then that happens. To this day, that's probably the most like movie cinematic cheesy moment that's happened for me. And then immediately afterwards, it like started dumping rain. Like gear was rolling all over the road and everything. So it was cool. I mean, at the moment, it was
Wow.
scary, but that's the most memorable thing for me to this
Um,
day.
yeah, unforgettable.
Yeah, unforgettable. Yeah.
Wow, wow. I want to know, Ryan, if Dexter and the Moonrocks had a warning label, what would it say?
A warning label. That's a, I've never thought about that. Uh, they're not that interesting of people, is what
Why
I
is
would say.
that?
We're
Do
just
you
we're
think
just
so?
we're just four dudes. I mean, there's not. I mean, I think we're good people, but there's not much to us. I mean, we just want to go play cool music for cool people, and then go back to the hotel room and play video games and get some sleep.
Mhm. For friends making music.
Yes,
And
yes.
you make music, but you like to have fun. I mean, your social media is hilarious. And do you like or do you think that making people happy or laugh is as important as making good music or
I
not at
think
all?
with our fan base, it is. I can't
Hmm.
speak to other genres. I mean, someone like I won't say any band names. Never mind. But you know, different genres in the country scene and such. I can't speak for them, but I think with our fan base, that I wouldn't. Thankfully, we have fans of all ages, but I think our core demographic is probably that like 18 to 30
Okay.
group. I think they all want to find something relatable
Hmm.
and someone they like. I think obviously something that's relatable is easier to connect to.
Hmm.
So I think being able to make people laugh and show that similar sense of humor and simplicity and just be happy when you can. I think that's what resonates with a lot of people these days. So I think yeah,
And you say that you're regular people playing concerts and then playing video games. Do you miss your life before fame, before stages and tours and music?
hmm. I miss a lot of it. I don't miss. I'm thankful for a lot of it. I don't miss the struggle. I mean, the worrying if you're going to be able to keep our lights on and keep food in the fridge. I don't miss that part. I'm
Hmm.
thankful for that, but I do miss parts of it. I miss being home with my wife more
Yes.
and my dogs. And the last job I had before this was actually with my father-in-law, and it was special getting to spend that much time with him because
Okay.
right right after we got engaged, I mean I knew him, but I didn't know him very well. But he offered me a job when I moved up here. I'd lived in the same town my whole life until I moved to be with my wife. So it's a pretty good way to get to know your soon-to-be father-in-law. Is spending 14 hours a day with him, 6 days a week,
Yes.
doing concrete. So I miss that too. I don't get to see them nearly as much as I should. So yes and no to answer your question
Hmm. Hmm.
before I
Hmm.
get carried away.
Perfect. Perfect. So, last question. Dexter and the Moonrocks in 10 years will be? Finish the sentence.
Oh,
Well, 10 years or maybe five or two, whatever you want to answer.
Uh, I'm gonna say it, the biggest band in the world.
Wow. I love that.
That's the goal. So
Okay. And have fun in the process.
yes, that's goal number one right now.
Absolutely. I think for everyone, no
Yes,
matter what you
yes,
do.
yeah. If you can enjoy what you do, keep doing it.
Ryan, final message for your Mexican fans.
We can't wait for the opportunity to come see y'all in person for the first time, and we appreciate all the love and support.
Thank you, Ryan. We really like your music. We like to freak out listening to Freaking Out and Dexter and the Moonrocks. So thank you for your time. It's been my pleasure having this conversation with you.
Thank you very much for having me. This was great.
Thank you, Ryan.
Entrevistas Alfa.